Buying a new construction home in Las Vegas can be an exciting as well as rewarding experience, but it also comes with its own set of challenges. There's going to be a lot of do's as well as don'ts that you should be aware of before you buy a new construction home. In my experience, I've seen clients make some of the mistakes that I'm going to be covering today, and it ultimately caused them to miss out on their dream home. In this video, I'll be providing you a comprehensive guide on the top 5 do's as well as don'ts when it comes to buying new construction homes here in Las Vegas. And make sure you stay with me to the end of this video, because after watching, you'll have a better understanding of the new construction process and what to expect when you're buying a new home. Las Vegas is a city where growth and expansion is being done here very quickly in a short amount of time. You could buy a new home on nearly any side of town and design it exactly how you want it. But one thing that you need to remember is the process of buying a new construction home is completely different than buying a resale home. This is why the first do in the process is to hire a real estate professional to represent you through the process. You might even be tempted to navigate the process on your own, but there are significant advantages of hiring a real estate agent to represent you. Hiring a real estate professional like myself will help you in areas like leveraging market insights, negotiation skills, and someone who's going to be there to hold your hand throughout the whole process. A real estate professional can help you with areas like the neighborhood, amenities, the schools, as well as future developments. There really isn't a reason why you shouldn't commit to hiring a real estate professional when you're buying a new construction home. At the end of the day, the real estate professional that you hire works for you and represents you for your best interests. As a new home buyer, I can understand how intimidated it can be when you walk into a new home sales office and all the sales agents are all jumping at you asking for your business. To avoid that intimidation, it's essentially important for you to make sure that your agent is with you on your first visit. If you decide to go to a new home development and you don't bring your agent with you on that first visit, they can't help you at any point in the transaction. Builders will disqualify your agent and refuse to work with them if they're not with you on your first visit. Negotiating favorable terms without an agent can also be a challenge. That's why having a real estate professional that is there that represents you to negotiate on your behalf is essential in the process, because they know what questions to ask to make sure you get the best deal possible. Let's paint a picture to put things in perspective for you. A builder's sales agent works for the home builder, so any decision that they make is always going to be in the best interest of the builder that they work for. When you hire a real estate professional like myself, I represent you from start to finish with your best interest in mind. Builders agents are typically worried about their bottom line, whereas I'm worried about getting you the best deal possible no matter what it takes. You can rely on your agent to set all your appointments, negotiate on your behalf, and communicate with the builder so all deadlines are met. If you want to have a smooth transaction when you're buying a new construction home, it is important that you hire a real estate agent. When you hire that real estate professional, you'll be able to work with someone that's going to guide you to make a well-informed decision that aligns with your future goals. Buying a new construction home is going to come with so much excitement and anticipation of customizing a home to your liking. And although this is a fun and exciting time, you need to make sure that you prepare for unforeseen costs. When you buy a new construction home, there's going to be a potential for hidden expenses, construction delays, or post-move-in necessities. There's so many what ifs that can happen when you buy a new construction home, but if you prepare for those things on the front end, you can protect your investment. When you have so many unforeseen costs when you're buying a new construction home, it can cause stress, stretch your budget, and prevent you from having a smooth transaction. Even though customization is a huge draw for new construction homes, adding design changes can add additional costs beyond the base price. New construction communities also have HOA fees as well as special assessments, which can increase over time. These special assessments are called SIDs and LIDs, which stands for Special Improvement District or Local Improvement District. It's no secret that we've seen construction delays over the past 2 years for a variety of reasons. These delays can cause inconveniences for you if you're not prepared. These delays can include short-term housing costs, storage fees, as well as renewal of current leases. You can prepare for delays like this by having a buffer in your timeline. I have clients who reached out to me after watching several of my YouTube videos, and they're now in contract building their dream home in North Las Vegas. And since they're building their home from a dirt lot, we had an extended start time on when they were able to get their foundation poured because permits were taking a little bit longer than normal. While we were waiting for permits to be issued, we ended up getting a short-term rental to help them get to Vegas now versus later. This was able to give my clients peace of mind because now they're waiting for their home to be built in the same city versus another state. Their home is scheduled to be completed by the end of September or early October. I mentioned to you earlier about hiring a real estate professional like myself because of the negotiation skills that they have that can represent you on your behalf. Me negotiating with the builder on your behalf allows us to have transparent contract terms, and address potential delays as well as additional costs. In order to maintain peace of mind while you're buying a new construction home, I would recommend having a contingency fund and utilizing your realtor to maintain communication with the builder from start to finish. Right now, the real estate market is very volatile and interest rates are the main topic of discussion. This is why the next do when buying a new construction home is to lock your interest rate. This strategy helps ensure financial stability and long-term savings. Interest rate locks offer buyers peace of mind when financing a new construction home. To give you some context, interest rates are related to economic conditions, market dynamics, and central bank policies. These market shifts can have consequences for home buyers, leading to increased monthly payments. Locking your interest rate is going to allow you to have a fixed monthly mortgage payment and keep an accurate budget. A locked interest rate is also going to protect you from potential rate hikes during the home buying process. Recently, I was selling a home and I saw that the feds were going to do another rate hike while we were in escrow. Now, this might not seem like a big deal, but a rate hike could potentially disqualify a buyer from being able to qualify for that home. The first thing I did was reach out to the buyer's agent and ask him if his client had locked his interest rate because I saw that the Fed's interest rate hike was coming. Now, luckily, the buyer had already locked his interest rate, so we didn't have to worry about the Fed interest rate hike coming. These type of scenarios happen all the time, especially in today's market. Can you imagine if the buyer didn't lock their interest rate and they could no longer qualify for the home? This wouldn't have been good for anyone who was involved with this transaction. I would have had to put the house back on the market and search for a new buyer. The buyer's agent would have lost the deal for his client, and the buyer would have got priced out of the market. Interest rate locks allow buyers to have stability throughout the life of their mortgage. The best time to do an interest rate lock is after you sign your purchase agreement and get your mortgage pre-approval. As a home buyer, you have the flexibility to choose the duration of your rate lock, and that can range from anywhere from 30 to 90 days. But something to keep in mind is the longer the rate lock, the higher the price. And even though rate locks come with a fee, the benefits outweigh the costs with potential savings for the life of your mortgage. When you lock your interest rate, you can plan your long-term budget because you know your monthly mortgage payment is going to be the same. And for those of you who are asking the question about what happens if you lock your rate too early, you can explore options like a float down to take advantage of lower rates. Locking your interest rate is strategic, and you should work with your real estate agent as well as your lender to determine the best time to lock your rate. Selecting the right lender is a key decision when you're purchasing a new construction home. The next thing that you should do is use the builder's preferred lender. Using the builder's lender will help you with incentives, better communication, and a streamlined process. Let's talk about who the in-house lender is. The in-house lender for any builder is going to be the mortgage company that the builder has a relationship with. It's typically standard for builders to offer incentives for using their in-house lender. I've seen incentives like percentages towards your closing costs, rate buydowns, or even lower home prices. The reason why builders encourage you to use their in-house lender is because they have existing partnerships with them. You choosing their lender helps them both. And even though that's the case, you shouldn't be afraid to use their lender, and here's why. Let's take the example of getting a 3% incentive towards your closing costs. If you were buying a $500,000 home and you got the 3% incentive from the builder, that's $15,000 that the builder's lender is going to give you. Most other mortgage lenders are not going to give you $15,000 towards your closing costs. That's why it makes logical sense to use the in-house mortgage lender for the builder. Using their preferred lender also will help you because they understand the builder's processes, which can lead to a shorter time frame when buying your home. That partnership that they have established will ultimately help you for a smoother transaction. Buying a new construction home is going to involve a lot of time, attention, and energy. The last do on our list is to make sure that you do read the fine print of your contracts. The fine print on your contracts holds critical information that is going to impact your home buying process. Reading the fine print is also going to expose potential risks that you might not see. And even though you have a real estate professional representing you on your behalf, it's your responsibility to make sure you read your contracts. Contracts can contain clauses like additional costs, maintenance responsibilities, and unexpected obligations that the buyer is responsible for. The fine print is going to outline the builder's obligations and what they're expected to deliver. A lot of times these contracts are going to include warranty details, coverage limits, and conditions that the home buyer must follow. These contracts can also include penalties for not following their rules. The fine print can also outline limitations on modifications as well as renovations that can ultimately impact your future renovation plans. Reading the fine print is a good practice to minimize your risk and keep your expectations consistent. By the way, if you're new to my channel and we haven't met before, my name is Chris Brown and I'm a realtor with Simply Vegas. Here on my channel, I help you find your new home in Las Vegas, whether you're a local or looking to relocate from somewhere else. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and click the bell so you don't miss any new videos and you always know how to live in Las Vegas. If you'd like to speak with me directly, you can reach out to me by using my contact information in the description below. Now that we've been able to talk about all the things that you should do in the new construction process, let's dive into the things that you should not do. Purchasing a new construction home should be an exciting and fun experience. especially after you tour all the model homes and you see all the potential possibilities that you can do with your home. However, one of the things that you should not do is assume everything is included in the purchase price. The mistake of assuming everything is included can cause issues during your home buying process. In new construction, there's a concept of standard features as well as upgraded features. Standard features are basic elements that the home builder is going to include in the base price of your home. These standard features can include areas like the foundation, framing, roofing, and basic appliances. Most of the time when you tour a new construction home, nothing inside is a standard feature. Builders intentionally upgrade these homes inside and out to give you an idea of all the different possibilities that you have when you build your custom home. Many home buyers walk into these model homes and assume everything is included, but the reality is they're not. The last thing that you want to do when you're building your new construction home is plan to build like the model. Every time I show a client a new construction home, I make sure I communicate with the builder so we have transparency and know what's included and what's not. The main areas that are usually upgraded are appliances, lighting fixtures, plumbing fixtures, flooring, as well as cabinets. Anything that is considered an upgrade, you can purchase through the builder or wait until after you close. The best way to know what is an upgrade as well as a standard feature is to openly ask the sales agent what's included. Right now, I'm working with a client that's building a new construction home and they added several upgrades to their home, including an RV garage, a larger bathroom, more windows, a work study, and even lighting fixtures. When we walked into the model home, their eyes lit up and they knew that they wanted so many different things that were included as upgrades in the model home. Taking that information, I made sure that we had a conversation with the sales agent so we knew exactly what we had to pay for and what we would get as a standard feature. And after all the upgrades that they added to their home, we recently had our frame walk and I can't wait to see how their home turns out. Next up on our don't list is a big thing that many home buyers completely forget when they're buying a new construction home. It's critical to not overlook the role of a homeowners association when you're buying a new construction home. Let's go over what exactly an HOA is. HOAs are organizations that oversee and manage all aspects of your community, including maintenance, upgrades, as well as rules enforcement. They play the biggest role in maintaining the aesthetics of your community. For example, if you wanted to paint your home, you have to get permission from your HOA. Pretty much anything that you want to do to your home, you have to get permission from your HOA. In my opinion, I'm not the biggest fan of HOAs, but I do know that they have some good aspects to them. HOAs even regulate rental as well as leasing activities. So for those of you who are interested in doing Airbnbs in Las Vegas, you may want to check with that HOA to make sure that it's allowed there. The other thing to be aware of is HOA's fees can change at any time. In a recent rental property that I just sold, when I bought the home, the HOA was $169. By the time I sold it, it was $245. There was also a pending lawsuit against the HOA for misuse of funds. It got really messy over there, and that's ultimately why I decided to sell that property. If you're a new home buyer, you should thoroughly read through all of your governing documents from your HOA so you know what you're getting yourself into. I'd also recommend getting active in your discussions as well as meetings with your HOA so you can be a part of the decisions that impact your community. I mentioned earlier in this video how exciting this process of buying a new construction home is, but with that excitement, you can't get too carried away. That's why the next don't on my list is don't finance or make any large purchases while you're in escrow. Once you're in escrow, I know you get excited that you want to go start buying furniture, possibly even get a new car, but you have to practice restraint. Large finance items can affect your debt to income ratio and affect your approval and possibly make you not qualify for the home. And for those of you who don't understand what debt to income ratio means, it's essentially how much debt you pay on a monthly basis in comparison to how much money you make on a monthly basis. Any large purchase that you make while you're in escrow is going to affect your credit score and affect your ability to get a favorable interest rate. A lower debt to income ratio is going to allow you to have more flexibility while you're going through the new home buying process. If you're a new home buyer, you should consider the trade-off of instant gratification versus long-term home ownership. And that's why making that decision to not finance or make any large purchases is a smart idea, because it's gonna help you have a smooth transaction and actually close. Okay, confession time. Drop a comment below if you found yourself doing any of the do's and don'ts that I've mentioned so far. Now let's talk about the real fun that you have when you're buying a new construction home, which is the upgrades. The next don't when it comes to buying new construction is don't over upgrade your home. After you get in contract with your new home builder, you'll be able to go to their design center and pick all the bells and whistles for your new home. This appointment can take anywhere from 2 to 4 hours depending on your taste, as well as if you have a partner with you who has different tastes. Over upgrading and making excessive changes that exceed your home value as well as the neighborhood norm is a no. The main reason why you shouldn't over upgrade your home is because this can lead to issues during the appraisal process if the property value of your home exceeds significantly than the property value of your neighbors. You don't want to turn a $300 $300,000 home into a $600,000 home in a neighborhood of homes that don't cost that much. The best upgrades that make the most sense are upgrades that are going to increase your functionality as well as overall living experience. Upgrades that include improved energy efficiency as well as modern technology can also have a positive return. If you're in the process of upgrading your home, make sure that you're thinking of these three things: market value, long-term satisfaction, and return on your investment. As eager as you are to get into your new home, there's one thing that you need to make sure that you don't overlook when you're buying this new construction home. Don't get too excited about your new construction home that you forget about the inevitable of construction delays. This is something that's gonna happen 9 times out of 10. Some common delays that you can expect are material, weather, supply chain, and even labor. Another thing to remember also is permitting delays. I mentioned to you guys a little earlier about the delay that my clients experienced while they're building their new construction home was getting a permit. And even though your new home is the most important thing to you, you have to understand that the city has other permits that they have to issue, including yours. Taking that into consideration, you have to expect permit delays. Right now, my clients who are in contract for their new home and they have a rental that they are currently renting until their home is done, I made sure that they communicated to their landlord so that they had a buffer time frame just in case they need to stay there just a little bit longer. The best way to manage delays is making sure that you have an open line of communication with the builder so that you understand construction timelines and potential delays. Something that I do for my clients is I send them picture updates at every major stage of their home building process so that they can see live photos of exactly where their home is in the process. This allows them to see the progress of their home and see if they're on schedule or not. We can always hope that there's not going to be any delays when you're buying a new construction home, but the reality is this is going to happen, and the more prepared you are, the better your outcome will be. For more videos about relocating to Las Vegas or Henderson, click on one of the other videos on the screen. I appreciate you all watching. I'll see you on the next one.